He is also naturally a macro player, so he really just enjoys macroing. So when he sees his Terran buddy here throw down a early third, he is extremely happy because that means that he can macro into the late game. And I think that Protoss, in my own opinion, has one of the strongest end game macros, simply because Zerg is kind of known for their macro, but the only problem is it does take a short amount of time, for example, to rebuild an army after you lose it. So let's say you lose 7 or 8, roaches. It'll take you a short amount of time before you can replenish those roaches, whereas with a Protoss army, they can simply just throw down 30 gateways, and as soon as they lose 30 units, they'll have 30 gateway units instantly pretty much anywhere on the map. So I think that Protoss's macro is actually one of the best. You can see actually getting a pylon here. I'm guessing a pylon. Oh, nope, just a stalker and a zealot. He will sack these just so we can simply figure out the actual timing that TLO will have on his third. You can see he's sitting with a lot of stalkers to prevent the blue flame hellions. I think both of them will go down. And there it is. That's cute. This is just cute little tricks. TLO is slowly pushing out. He just wants to see what kind of composition is here. And if I was him, now would be the time to push out and take out this little army here. And you can see that that's actually what he's choosing to do. He throws on the scan. I really think Hasu should move back, and he does choose to do that. So you can see he's actually going to probably meet his stalkers up with his zealots and sentries. And actually not opting to get this gold yet. That is maybe a smart decision. I do not in fact know, because I'm not really sure about what to do in a Terran versus Protoss endgame situations, considering I do not encounter them that much. But I mean, the Terran player does have the army advantage right now, but you can see 2 Colossus out are really going to swing the favor into the Protoss if Thermal Lance is upgraded, which it actually just finished. Excuse me, my throat's a little bit dry. So anyways, you can see that actually the army is pushing up, and you can see that he just pretty much wasted his stim. He's going to lose a couple Marines. Oh, the Ghost EMPing all the Zealots. Now's the time to push back. Beautiful force fields. He really wants to cut off the Terran army so that he has a chance to regen all of his force fields. You can see actually forcing a lot of stim on the Terran player. TLO is getting a little bit stim happy. The Marines and the Marauders are saying, sure, why not? Hit me with another syringe. What are the effects? And the commander is saying, well, actually the effects is 10 HP of your life. But they apparently do not care. You can see charge. Actually, in an update, it will hit you no matter what. So it is not as effective to kite a charged zealot as it was before. But if you do not want to die, you will just kite a zealot like you do normally. I think that all of a sudden the favor has swung into the Protoss because he held off that attack, and now he's going to be able to push on the aggressor. He has a lot of Colossus, and there are no Vikings to really deal with these Colossus yet. So there's really nothing that TLO can do except for back up and slowly push back. You can see that there's actually 4 Colossus on the field right now. A couple of stalkers, a good EMP, but as you know, EMPs don't actually take out all of the shields of the Colossus, only parts of them. And apparently a Colossus is also known as a Battle Strider. This is called a defensive nuke. TLO does them extremely well. It's to force back a Protoss army to give him the time he needs, but he might, no, he'll move his Viking out of the way. It's TLO. And this is a defensive nuke. I really like when I see play like this, because all it does is it forces the Protoss player to move back a little bit, kind of watch where he's going, because if he's not careful, he will actually die to those nukes. And the nukes are really just they're not to actually do any physical damage. They're just to say, hey, you know, there's a nuke there. If you push up, you will in fact die. And you can see actually taking control of this. I think TLO is taking a small number of his forces and pushing up to here. I don't know if I agree with this, because all that's going to happen is his nexus will be cancelled, and he will lose a lot of units as a result if he's not too careful. And you can see actually here comes the push. I think he's keeping the stalkers back. Nope, actually choosing to engage with the stalkers. You can see that I think maybe all of these units will in fact actually die, especially if he uses his blink to his advantage. There it is, the blink. There's 1. There's 2, and oh, is he gonna get the last one? If his blink goes up, he will, and he actually doesn't even need to use the blink. His blink was in fact on recharge. But while he's doing that, TLO is saying, here, have my SCVs. I do not need them. Apparently sacking them for more supply, even though he does have plenty of supply already. I don't really know why he stacked these, but we shall see how fast he hits 200 again. You can see, like I was saying, Hasu already at 200 because that warp gate tech is so quick. And he's actually getting DT'd, and you can see he's still pushing in here, but the defensive nuke. Oh, excuse me. And you see what he did there? He puts the nuke up. He forces the Protoss player to back up to really watch what he's doing, and he can't really push in while this nuke is going to be down. And so he'll end up actually just letting the nuke drop or end up canceling it. Both ways still lose the nuke. Almost lost the medevac. He probably is laughing to himself right about whenever that happened, because of course it wasn't in the past, because this is a replay. And you can see there is a good number of Vikings out. He will be able to actually pick off all of these Colossus if he actually decides to move in, and there it is. Oh, good blink by Hasu to really push back those Vikings. And you can see that this Marine Marauder Ball is really starting to dwindle in its size, whereas the Protoss's Death Ball is just staying large and healthy. And you can see once again TLO is just slowly pushing this. He's going to keep canceling. He keeps wanting to force the cancels on this next one. You can Nexus, and you can see that actually Protoss is saying, okay, you can have that Nexus. I will just take the one on the other side of the map. And sorry about that, a little bit of lag there. My computer is considering on whether or not to crash on me. You can see he's actually, Protoss is finally feeling like he has the advantage. He feels like he has enough of an advantage actually to push this. You can see there it is. He's slowly pushing down this command center here, and I'm actually going to pause my game for a second here. It will resume at the same time for you, but I want to figure out what is going on with my lag. Give me a second, guys. Alright, there we go. I think that it is fixed. I just paused it and played it again, so we shall see if the good old pause and play actually works. And you can see actually opting for an orbital command here instead of a planetary fortress. That simply means that he can just lift it off, I guess. I mean, that's a pretty good play choice by TLO. But I think a planetary fortress would have been able to maybe push this Protoss army back earlier in the game. But who knows? I am not the pro. And you can see actually opting to get a whole bunch of cannons back here. Smart play, because he's really, I mean, TLO really doesn't have anywhere to go. All he really has is the army he has now. You can see extremely low on money, whereas Hasu just has a crazy amount of money in the bank. And if we can go to production buildings, look at this, like I was just saying. I mean, so many gateways. So many gateways. There's really nothing you can do when a Protoss player has 2k in the bank, you have no money, and he has almost, what's this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost 16 gateways. And you can see actually that TLO is trying to push in here, but there's really nothing you can do. If this nuke does land though, it's a smart play choice by TLO. And you can see that actually he is pushing up. This nuke is going to have to be cancelled. If TLO lets it drop, then it is the dumbest place of choice. There it is. There's the cancel, and you can see still pushing up. But as you can see, it actually really swings the favor into TLO, and he might actually be able to hold this off. He does have 0-0 on his siege tank, 3-3, and the Protoss only has 3-2, and that might be why he just lost that battle. But you'll be able to see that he'll be able to warp in units so quickly. It really evens up the playing field, even though he did lose that. And all these cannons here will actually be able to hold off this Terran ball if he does decide in fact to push up here. I don't know. Actually, I guess not. But maybe he can kill one or two Marauders. Splashing away at these Marauders. 1 kill, 2 kills. Wait for him. I would really be focusing down those ghosts if I was the TLO. There's the scan. Finally realizes something is up. For some reason, not actually focusing down the DC, nor dropping the Nexus. But you can see that actually Hasu is actually opting to instead push out the back, finally getting Archons. He's getting some High Templar. High Templar are good, but without the Chidarian Amulet, it doesn't take, what is it? They warp in with 50 energy, and it takes an additional 25. You see, I think Hasu is opting to all in here. Nope, just pulling some probes also for them to fly. And, oh no, he's actually just sending them to mine. Okay. So, very badass probes there, deciding to go and mine right in the middle of a battle, and he is trusting that the Protoss actually wins this battle, because if he does not, all of these poor little probes will die. And this is what I'm talking about. Look at this. Just warping in almost an entirely new army within 1 second. That is why Protoss's endgame macro is in fact so good. I was about to say one lucky Archon, but I guess not, and I think this is TLO's all-in. This is where TLO is kind of electing to say, if I do not win with this push, I do not win at all. And I think that unfortunately for TLO, this army will not be enough, especially with all of these warp-ins that the Protoss player can do. I mean, he does have a lot not on cooldown, so he can pretty much just spam warp-ins whenever he has the money, and TLO does opt to GG. And this is, once again, Big Bear StarCraft bringing you my 5th game. I'm hoping that you guys actually enjoy this game more than the first one I casted. Again, I apologize for that one. I was really sick. And I'm hoping that people do not hate me forever because of one crappy game. This is Big Bear StarCraft signing out with an extremely sore voice. I do not know why. It might be because I've casted 3 or 4 games today. I hope you guys enjoy the games I will post later. And also, please subscribe. That would really mean a lot to me. I mean, it takes 1 second out of your day, and it's just a huge deal to me. Thanks, guys. I'm signing out.